Hello, beautiful souls. Thanks for tuning in to another Spiritually.Ziya reading. Today, we're going to be checking out what is positively shifting for us as a collective. And before we jump in with cards, I just want to talk about some things that I was picking up intuitively. First thing is I was seeing some sort of manifestation jar, an intention jar, a spell jar, whatever you want to call it, right? This is just a representation of something that you've been investing a lot of time, energy, and intention into. This is starting to grow. So this is starting to transition from just being manifested energetically to something that is going to be tangible, right? It's not quite full bloom yet. You know, we can't quite harvest this yet, but we're going to start to see some sort of beginning stages of this starting to blossom. So, for some of you guys, that could look like if you're doing content, right? You're trying to grow your social media pages, your platforms. It's like instead of getting like 50 views, 50 likes, you're going to start to get 100 of them, right? But this is just the beginning of that. Soon you'll be getting like thousands. So that's just an example, but that could be for somebody here that could quite literally be your situation. Regardless, there's something behind the scenes that has been in the works for a while that you've been hoping, wishing, praying for, setting intentions, and this is starting to pay off. Okay, Spirit, the universe says this was received. We hear you. We support this. You are on the right track. And I feel like that is a message for somebody here. And I also keep hearing it does not have to be perfect. Slow down, stop rushing. Okay, so your work don't always have to be perfect. The way that you say something does not always have to be perfect. It just has to be authentic. And stop rushing through your project. Stop rushing yourself. Stop rushing the universe. Allow things to happen organically, authentically, naturally. Okay? There's a message of like allow yourself to be human, to make mistakes, and allow the universe to work its magic in its own timing. Okay? And I keep hearing to release your expectations because that is killing the joy of what it is that you're doing. So we're going to use content for an example again because that's what I'm doing right now. So it's just going to come very naturally for me. But say you are filming a reading and you have all these expectations for yourself to just flow through this. Everything's just going to be on point, but the messages come through kind of choppy. And even though you had some good messages in there, because it wasn't flowing as fluent as you wanted it to, you start to get a little frustrated with yourself. And that's where I'm saying like those expectations that you have of yourself are killing your joy, which is ruining the passion that you're supposed to be putting into this project, and in turn is blocking the energy from flowing properly. Okay, so for me, for instance, just a minute ago, I was getting frustrated with trying to film this intro and get these messages out. I couldn't get them out properly or in the ways that I wanted to, right? I was expecting myself to just, flow through the shit. And I was having a hard time. And instead, I just took a moment to go recenter my energy and to anoint myself with my oil. I put a couple of my rings on and I just put my expectations to the side, and I'm just allowing myself to be human, allowing myself to make mistakes with my vocabulary and to stutter here and there, like it's gonna come out in the ways that it's meant to. This shit's authentic, it's raw, it's uncut. I'm not editing this. Like, this is what you're gonna get. Okay, and that's like a message for somebody here. All right, just be authentic. It don't have to be perfect. Don't rush it. And I was also hearing that you're starting to wake up to your higher mind. I feel like a lot of you guys that are in my collective, you are already very spiritually woke and in tune with yourself and the universe. But this is, like I said at the beginning, next level shit, okay? This is a whole new level of consciousness that is like uncharted territory for you. So it might be a little overwhelming at first. And I kept feeling my root chakra vibrating. So make sure that you're just grounding your energy and grounding these frequencies. Otherwise, they will potentially overwhelm you. And that's never Spirit's or the universe's intentions with giving you these activations, these downloads, these upgrades, is to like overwhelm you and cause you to shut down, right? That's why the Great Mother is here, Mother Gaia. She's here to help us ground these frequencies. We don't have to do it alone. And if something is ever too much for you, open up and be transparent about that, right? The universe can only do so much if we're not being open with what we can handle and what we feel like is too much. You know, sometimes we have to tell the universe, like, can you meet me halfway and, you know, kind of chill this shiznit out so I can catch up and so I can ground these frequencies first before giving me more, you know? I mean, they think you can handle it and they know that you can handle it, but sometimes when we're not in a good place at that day, that moment, that time, we have to speak up for ourselves, and we just got to set boundaries and let them know, like, I can only give you like half of what you're expecting, or not necessarily expecting of me, but half of the standard that you're holding me to right now, okay? So there's a difference between expectations and standards, and I just want to clarify that real quick. Somebody can try to argue with me all day long, but you can look that shit up on Google. There is a difference, okay? But the universe don't necessarily expect much of you, but they hold you to a high standard because spiritually they know what you're capable of, right? But sometimes for our human body, it might be a little too much. But I was also seeing the layout of the body, which was making me think of spirit, earth, fire, water, air. So the 5 elements that exist within our entire being, kind of like unifying or harmonizing. So I think that's something that's also starting to positively shift, is that your energy is going to be very cohesive right now. And I think that maybe that's why your power is so like strong and your manifestation abilities are so much more powerful, is because there's so much like harmony happening right now, right? You're utilizing all the different bodies of yourself because you've integrated, and you're able to act as a whole instead of as like a quarter of yourself or a half of yourself, right? Yeah. Is there anything else that I was picking up? Oh, I was also seeing a diamond, and I'll put that up on the screen right here, what the diamond symbolizes in sacred geometry, because I quite literally forgot, but I do feel like it has something to do with like higher consciousness as well. So let's just jump in with some cards, because I've been channeling for about 8 minutes now. So let's see what is positively shifting for us as a collective. I'm going to pull 3 of these cards indicating 3 different shifts that are happening, or 3 major shifts that are happening, I guess I could say. I'm hearing don't run away from the truth. We'll do one more shuffle. Can we get 3 main things that are positively shifting for the collective, Spirit? Well, we got 2. One more, please. Oh my God, I literally kept seeing this card in my third eye. That is so fucking crazy. I wish I would have just said that, because that would have that would have been even more crazy. But yeah, this is what I kept seeing to make me feel like, you know, we're like accessing our higher mind, I guess you could say. It says higher perception with passion. which is also something that I was picking up at the beginning when I was talking about, your expectations are killing your joy and your passion for the projects that once kind of like filled you, with all of this passion, this excitement, this joy. It's taking that energy away. And that's why Spirit is really advising you to, like kind of like reconnect back with that, to reconnect back with the reason why you started doing what you're doing to begin with, right? Because this was once a passion project. This was once just something that excited you and that you were enjoying, and now it's kind of turning more into like, I have to do this, like an obligation, or like almost like a duty instead of like a passion project. And Spirit's like, you need to reconnect with that passion. And I feel like that will open the energy up for you again. Instead of being so strict and rigid and expecting so much more from yourself, just allow like the energy to be what it is supposed to be. We got transformation on the bottom of the deck with Iku. Crystal technology with silicone. That's awesome. I love this. This is the death card in this deck, which, we are, as a collective, going through this mass transformation together. And we're really starting to step into not only our authenticity, but we're starting to really move toward our destiny, our purpose, and living life with more purpose. And I feel like a lot of the things that are blocking us from being able to do that is what is like falling away, and this transformation, while it is like huge, I feel like it's almost giving me the vibe of like a self-inflicted transformation, if that makes sense. Like, this is something that it's not like the divine is making you go through this. It's like something that you chose to go through on your own because your soul and your spirit was ready to elevate. You know what I mean? It's like an important one, but it's also self-inflicted, and I also feel like it's not as treacherous, I guess you could say, as the other ones in the past. And I feel like the other ones, they only felt so extreme because you felt like it was very like out of nowhere, whereas this one, it's like more controlled because this is something that you're intentionally doing to yourself, if that makes sense. Hopefully that made sense. So with Omo and family coming out, I feel like, because I'm looking at this broken mirror where the family is, and it's making me think of like, putting the pieces back together within your family lineage. So a lot of you guys have like closed out some major cycles and healed some sort of like ancestral trauma and karma that has been going on for a really, really long time, like far before your existence, okay? This has been happening. And you have healed the family lineage. You have brought these souls back together in a more healed, compassionate, and loving way. I do feel like a lot of you guys that were drawn to this collective reading, it's because you guys are the ones that feel like the outcast in your family dynamic, right? A lot of you guys probably feel like you're not very close with your family. And I feel like it's because your vibration and your frequency is so much higher than the family that you were born into. You know what I mean? So it's not that they don't love you and they don't care about you. It's you trigger these people to have to heal. And a lot of these people are not ready for that. So instead, they distance themselves from you, or they kind of push you out because they're not ready to look at their faults. They're not ready to look at their darkness, their baggage. You know, they're not ready to free themselves ultimately. But you trigger this within them. So even if they're not ready for it, it's like once you were born and you came into contact with these people, you shine that light on them and you planted that seed and now it's growing, you know? So even if they rejected you, outcasted you, pushed you away, these people are going through a silent transformation within themselves because of you. You activated this within them. And that's why you weren't accepted. It's not because you're weird. It's not because you're unworthy. It's not because you don't deserve to be accepted and part of the family. It's because these people were not at the same level as you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, right? You've always been a deeper, more emotional, intelligent being, right? And with the Hisabi, with accountability, I also and the family, I also feel like you make people take accountability as well as you take accountability for your shit as well. Like, you're honest. You're a very honest individual and you live your life with a lot of integrity. And you're not the type of person that really lets shit slide. I feel like you're very strong and you don't care to stand alone. You know what I mean? You'll stand in a room full of people that don't really like you because that don't faze you as an individual. You know who you are. You're very connected with your inner power, your inner conscious, or why was I going to say inner consciousness? I was going to say inner confidence. You're somebody that is just very connected with your self-empowerment. You've never needed validation from another person, period. And I think that's something that triggers people because they feel like that's something that they're lacking. You know what I mean? But it's not that they're lacking it. It's just they need to own it. They need to own themselves. They need to own their shadow. They need to integrate so much. And like I said before, they just were not ready for that. I'm here and ready or not, here I come. So it's like, whether you're ready or not though, like once you step in the room, once you get around these people, like I said, it activates that transformation. So whether they're ready or not, like they're going to go through some mass awakening. And I feel like you're like doing God's work. You know what I mean? Like you are doing what you came here to do. And some people might find it abrasive. They might find your energy very abrasive, but baby, you just doing what you came here to do. You should never apologize for that. But yeah, I'm also feeling like people that have wronged you in the past, I feel like this is something that's positively shifting for us as a collective, is the people that have wronged you in the past are, I feel like for some of you guys, you might be getting an apology from them, or they might be realizing like they were wrong. Okay, so if somebody lashed out at you because they were triggered and talking from wounded energy, I do feel like they've had enough time to calm down, and these people are going to start to realize that they were wrong for the way that they talked to you. They were wrong for the way that they treated you, and I do feel like they're going to take accountability and apologize. So that could be very healing for you guys as well, just to hear that. I know you don't need an apology because you've already kind of like forgiven this person, but to hear that apology, it warms your heart, you know, and I almost feel like I want to cry. Some of you guys, this really caused you a lot of pain. Like some of the things that these people have said to you, like really hurt your soul and your spirit. And even though you've forgiven them, an apology would just allow you to take that forgiveness and take it to the next level. You know what I mean? I don't know what comes after forgiveness, to be honest, but it's like forgiveness 2.0. like, but yeah, if we're talking about what is positively shifting for us as a collective, because I do feel like these messages kind of took a little bit of a turn and I just had to get some other messages out. Our family dynamic is being healed, okay? There's going to be a lot of like harmony in the family. And I'm hearing even like friends that you consider family, you know, the family that you choose and the family that you're born into. There's going to be a lot of harmony. There's like some sort of balancing that's happening within the family dynamic. And for some of you guys that are single, I am feeling like there's union on the horizon. So you're going to be coming into contact with a partner very soon. This is somebody that you guys, I feel like, are going to be building a family with, okay? And that doesn't mean that you're going to just be having children. For those of you that are like done having children, it's like you guys are going to be blending your families together, like building new traditions. There's so much that is like kind of coming through, and some of it's coming through a little bit choppy, so give me a second. I'm also feeling like you guys are going to be healing each other's like perception of love, what love is. And I do feel like for a lot of you guys, like this is a divine counterpart. I'm being drawn to the moon and the sun on this card, which is making me think of, you know, masculine and feminine energy, yin and yang. You guys are just going to balance each other out. Like where you feel like your weaknesses are, their strengths are going to be, and where their weaknesses are, your strengths are going to be. And you guys are just going to create this beautiful, just cohesive energy that's conducive for your guys' healing. And I feel like you guys are going to help each other elevate in ways that you can't even imagine right now. Like, I think you might have like an idea, but this is beyond anything that you can put together within your human mind, okay? And I'm even being drawn to these crystals right here, like this rose quartz. And I'm hearing rhodonite as well. So these could be like good crystals for you to work with to tap into that like unconditional love, radical acceptance, you know? But I do feel like this is going to be somebody that just unconditionally loves you. They accept you. They appreciate you. They adore you. And I am also getting for some of you guys, like this person has been like your secret admirer for a little bit. They've been just kind of watching you do your thing and waiting until they could come in and give you the proper love. You know, like they've been on their healing journey as well and trying to make sure that their energy was in the right energy to come forth and give you a proper offer, you know. And I had seen 2222 on the clock or on the timer when I was saying that. And 4 twos to me symbolize like a stability coming in within your love and romantic life as well. For those of you that are already in a relationship, you're committed, whether that's married, whatever you want to call it, you're in union with your person. The energy is just going to be so loving, accepting, more romantic. I am very strongly picking that up. If you guys have been kind of like in this weird space with each other, I feel like there's like balance that's coming in. There's harmony that's coming in. And with the Hasabi, with accountability, I feel like you guys are just going to be like in this energy of accepting yourself and your entirety, you know, like the parts of yourself that are deemed as like positive and negative. You guys are just embracing who you are, in other words. And I feel like you guys are just letting yourself be. You're letting go. This card, just every time I look at it, the way she's just like, she got these flowers on her head and these leaves are falling and her eyes are closed and she's just like surrendered. Like she's just completely and fully embracing who she is, you know? And I feel like with the lion right here, I mean, in traditional tarot, the strength card does symbolize, you know, having this gentle and compassionate energy with your more animalistic or what's the word I'm looking for? Wild or undomesticated side, you know? you appreciate your wild side, because that side of you is where your untapped potential is. You know, it's like, it's giving like Lilith vibes to me. Somebody who don't just submit, they are empowered by their wild, dark side. Okay, so I don't know. This is definitely giving somebody who is also very like in their feminine energy, in the energy of letting go, receiving. And for a lot of you guys that have been feeling like you've had to be in your masculine energy for so long, I feel like this is a positive shift, because you're more allowing for things to start working for you, for the universe to start working for you, and for people to start helping you, showing up for you. You know what I mean? Instead of feeling like you got to do it all yourself. And the higher perception with passion. This kind of just goes into the same message that I was picking up at the beginning. Like, you guys are waking up to your higher mind. And I feel like this is something that is also going to be contributing to new ideas that I feel like have the potential to really like shift your dynamic. Okay, so if you're somebody that has been struggling for a long time, these new ideas have the ability to bring in abundance, prosperity, stability. Okay, so kind of like trust what you're picking up. And for a lot of you guys that have been feeling cloudy, like your mind has been feeling like foggy, this is starting to lift. Okay, this fog is lifting. I feel like this was because you guys were activating and downloading so much information, and your chakras have been going through this like attunement to this new frequency. So it was kind of like you were shut down in a sense. And I always go through this when I go through activations. I always go through this process where like I cannot fucking channel for shit. Like I can't really do much spiritual work at all. So I'll have to like start focusing my energy on other things. But I feel like it's almost like you guys have been going through that same kind of process. Like you've spiritually been attuning to a new frequency. And so you felt like you were foggy. I'm also feeling like that spark is going to be returning back for you guys. If you feel like your spark is kind of like dulled or dimmed as of recently, the spark is coming back. Full force, baby. Brighter than it was before. So, yeah, I just feel like just be patient with yourself during this time, because you guys have been spiritually and energetically going through a lot, okay? And you can't rush shit like this because, I mean, like I said, it just takes the joy away from the experience. Spirit wants you to embrace all of what they're giving you right now. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know if I was saying something else before and I stopped because I was taking care of my daughter, but some exciting new energies are making its way to you. Some manifestations are starting to bloom, starting to blossom, and some harmony, some balance, people taking accountability, you feeling empowered. Okay, these are all positive shits that are happening for us as a collective. So I'm gonna jump in with some tarot cards. I wasn't expecting this reading to be so long, but I'm just kind of going with the flow, baby. We're just going with the flow, baby. You got your eyes and ears and mouth and nose. What's the matter? Wow. There's that balance. Yeah, I feel like you guys are clearing out some limiting beliefs around support, connections, relationships in general. I feel like you guys have just recently closed out some sort of like karmic cycle as well that had to do with the connections that you have been attracting in the past, if that makes sense. Like feelings of unworthiness, or attracting like toxic connections or people that don't value you and what you bring to the table. Can we get some more messages? What is positively shifting for us as a collective? Yeah. We got the Devil card in reverse on the bottom. So you guys are freeing yourself from any low vibrational energies, habits, addictions, toxicity, people, connections, right? Anything that has lowered your vibration or kept you feeling stuck in some sort of way. No more. No more. Okay, Spirit says no more. So that is a positive shift. We got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So any missed opportunities or things that you felt like kind of like passed you by, I am feeling like you're getting a second chance, but it's going to come in a way that, how do I explain this? It's coming in an unexpected way, but it's also coming in a way that is more authentic, I guess you could say. And I'm hearing for some of you guys, this opportunity actually didn't miss you or pass you by. It's been rooting itself, okay? It's been grounding itself into the physical plane. Yeah, it's been rooting itself into the physical plane, okay? So it's been taking some time, but it's because it needed some time to build a strong foundation, you know? We have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is kind of what I was picking up before. Like, if you've been feeling cloudy, feel like you can't talk properly, you feel like you can't channel, if you do any type of like spiritual work, you feel kind of like you've been shut down, it is because your consciousness and your vibration are attuning to a new frequency. And it takes time also for that period to, like that transitional period where you're adjusting. So be patient with yourself. And I'm also feeling for a lot of you guys are going through like a major heart chakra healing as well. And Spirit is kind of advising you to stop thinking so logically about everything and maybe start listening more to your heart. I feel like your intuition lies more within your heart than in your mind, if that makes sense. That sounds so weird because I feel like, the intuition is like a more mental thing. But for you guys, your intuition is more like through your heart center. Your heart is what guides you toward your fulfillment and your purpose. And I am feeling like for a lot of you guys have very strong heart chakras as well. And you guys like shut down from that for a long time because of some painful past experiences. And I think for a lot of you guys, you think you've been, like, you think your heart has been open, but there was some things that you were still working through, releasing in order for you to fully have an open and receiving heart, if that makes sense. Hold on, baby. And we got the Five of Wands. So wherever there's been like inner conflict, even conflict with others, I feel like this is starting to clear up, okay? And for some of you guys, I feel like because this is falling over the higher perception with passion, I'm getting this message of the reason why your passion has felt like it has like dimmed or dulled as of recently is because you have so many passion projects that are all kind of like clashing together, and it needs some sort of direction. And we need to like kind of focus on one thing at a time, because right now you're burning your energy out, putting too much into too many different things, you know? Because I'm almost looking at all these different people like fighting as different projects that want your attention or that you're giving your attention to. And it's like there's this one specific one that you should be focusing your energy on right now, and you don't have your full energy to give to it because your energy is very sporadically going to a bunch of different things, you know, because we get excited and inspired to start another project. We start that project, we don't finish it, we just have our energy just bouncing all over the place. You know what I mean? We need to focus on one thing, give it some structure, some strategies, some direction, right? So that way we can achieve our goals. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of unfinished projects, and it's going to start eating you up. You're going to start to be hard on yourself. I'm a failure. I don't get anything done. My work sucks. And it's not that your work sucks. It's you're not able to give that work your all. So you're giving it like a quarter of your energy, just a piece of your energy. So it's not like it's not your best work because you're not able to give it your full undivided attention. If you were able to just like focus on that one thing though, you'd be surprised by the kind of work that you can do. I think you know what you're capable of, but I think, like I said at the beginning, maybe you guys are being a little hard on yourself. Here, baby. Sorry, I had to put her down for a second. She's freaking heavy. So let's see. I'm going to pull one of these, or maybe two of these actually. Oracle cards. Like, make it your mission to try to like focus in on one specific goal that you feel like is going to be conducive for your progress, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, what's most important to you right now? I know they're all of importance, but what is most important to you right now? And then you can build off of that. You know what I mean? I already got the remote, so if the music randomly stops or something, that's why. I just want to, Spirit. Thank you. We got lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. I love that. Because I really feel like what I was saying before, like you guys healing your family lineage, it's like this is like a gift that they're giving to you because of your hard work that you've done for them. You know, like you have overcame this huge obstacle that all of them have struggled with in the past. You know, you overcame this, and now they're giving you their wisdom, their gifts, their support, their love, their protection, right? I mean, they've always protected you, but this just feels more like, I don't know, like their blessings, miracles, you know, making things happen for you. And I'm also thinking of this 3 and 4 is making me think of the Empress and the Emperor. So some of you guys, one of the blessings that they are giving you is a partnership, like somebody that is going to help bring you to that next level, you know, as well as they're giving you like abundance, discipline, drive, determination, self-empowerment. So we have 4 coming out with Caterpillar, with opportunity. And the 4th card is linked to the Emperor. And that's kind of what I was picking up. Like, give your ideas some structure. And I'm also hearing, don't be so rigid. Don't be so rigid. Just because you're giving something structure, don't mean you have to be so precise. Kind of still be flexible with it. Goodness me. There's just so many distractions in this. It's kind of annoying. Sorry, my fucking phone is about to die now. So I'm like, gotta wrap this shiznit up. But be flexible with it as well. This is making me think of like this little caterpillar right here is making me think of like, you know, this flexible, intuitive energy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And it's also making me think of like, you know how they say like cats have 9 lives? It's like wisdom from different lifetimes that live within you that you have at your disposal. And Spirit's kind of like, use that, you know, use that. There's a lot of opportunities that are coming in for you to like change your dynamic. Spirit is telling you to take advantage of that, but also be like intentional and precise with, how do I explain this? Oh my goodness, sorry. Be intentional and precise with where you want these opportunities to take you, okay? Don't take on too much at once. Take only what you feel is going to help you achieve the goal that you're trying to reach. And these other opportunities, they're not just going to go away. Like, they will come back around for you when the time is right, when everything is already stabilized. You know what I mean? We got deep diver with diving into a task. Yeah, and this is kind of just making me feel like what I was saying before with the whole, like being intentional with the task that you're diving into and giving it like your all. And with number 10, sorry, my daughter is like really grumpy today. She's teething and just not having it. Here, you need some help? Here you go, baby. And with number 10, this is like the end of a hard cycle. I do feel like you guys have just recently closed out. You just recently closed out some heavy cycle. And the jellyfish are on here. And I'll put the meaning of the jellyfish up on the screen, the spiritual meaning. But I think it has something to do with like femininity. I've looked it up before and I just can't remember. So I'm just going to put it on the screen. Okay. But yeah, this is definitely making me think of somebody who has just recently closed out like a hard cycle, and now the energy is more open for them to like really dive deeper into the meaning behind some of this difficulty that they were faced with, if that makes sense. I keep saying if that makes sense because I'm having a hard time saying it, so I don't know if it's being understood. I'm starting to lose my channel here, so I'm just going to pull some of these cards right here, and then I'm going to pull a final message for you guys. Actually, I think I want to pull some tea leaves too. So, what positive shifts are happening for the collective? Please and thank you. Some positive shifts that are happening for the collective. I'm hearing that. I'm wide awake. Yeah, I was in the dark. I was falling hard with a broken heart. I'm wide awake. And I hear, but now it's over now. The end. I wish I knew then what I know now. We got the crossroads, this way, that way. So, like I was saying, like, be decisive, okay? Make a decision. Where do you want to go? All these paths that you're being drawn to, I feel like have so much potential for some great success. You just got to like limit your energy output right now to just one specific thing, so that way it can like, so you can build that foundation, you know? Anything is possible. I love that. Well, why you keep throwing it? What do we got on the bottom? Springtime renewal. I love that. So, definitely, I was kind of already picking that up at the beginning, like something is starting to blossom for you guys, but it hasn't quite like fully came into harvest. It's like, you know, springtime where we're planting those seeds and we're going to start to see some of them grow, but they're not going to be full bloom yet, you know? And right now is just a really good time for you to start sowing some powerful intentions into the universe. Everything is awesome. I don't know why that's coming through right now, but it is. I'm going to pull some tea leaves for you guys, and then I'm going to pull one final message. Oh, shoot. We got broken bridge with unsuccessful outcome to a problem. I don't feel like this is necessarily a bad thing. I feel like, I don't know. I know what it says, but the vibe that this is giving me is somebody who's like finally letting go of a situation that has not been serving them. Like, I feel like, you know, this foundation, this bridge has been crumbling for a long time now. You've just been kind of trying to glue the pieces back together, but now you're like, you know what, fuck it. Let it fall. Then I can rebuild a new bridge, you know. I don't feel like this is necessarily a bad thing. I know it says unsuccessful outcome to a problem, but I don't know. The vibe that I'm getting from it is something different. We got haystack karma. You will reap what you have sown. Yeah. Love that. Mountain road. You are on the road to success. And I've already told you guys are on the right path. You guys are moving in the right direction. Carriage, a journey either physical or mental. We got hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. And that is coming to you now. Okay. We got older man, dealings or relationship with an older man. This is making me think of like a wise soul, okay? Don't necessarily have to be like older, but their soul is very like ancient, you know? This person holds a lot of wisdom, can give you proper guidance. We got fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. Apple, temptation will test you. And this test is to see if you're really ready to move on, to implement those boundaries, those lessons that you've learned. Okay, we got January. So next year, January, or whenever you're watching this, the next January could be significant for you guys. And we got owl, good advice from a wise person. Yeah, literally, that's kind of what I was picking up with the older man, like somebody who can give you some good guidance. So we are going to pull one final card and see what message from Isis does she want to give you guys. Let's close this reading out. Can I get a final message from Goddess Isis? Or two? Or three? Whatever. That works, I guess. On the bottom of the deck, we got Pillar of Light. Pillar of light, burning bright, earth star, earth star below, soul star above. Burn away all that is not light. Transform all into unconditional love. Star of Isis, descend your blessings and peace without end. Grace me now with peace and protection, completely embraced by the divine protection, or perfection, sorry, protection too, I guess. Ooh, that was a good one, and I'm mad I slaughtered it. Power over 7 scorpions. You're being initiated into the magic of conjuring, so as to have power to affect lower vibrational forces through your own will and spoken word. You are guided to use this powerful gift with compassion and discernment, with mercy and non-judgment. You can then manage any toxicity in your life swiftly and with great effect. Sorry, my daughter is just getting really antsy right now. Temple of Carnelian, it is time to trust in your own boldness and courage, taking risks that feel true to your heart and engaging in practices that make you feel truly and genuinely alive, embodied, and more of yourself, even if not always comfortable, are going to help you live the life you were born to live. Spirit of Isis, beloved initiate, there are times to surrender and let go, but there are never times to give up. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Isis has the spirit of triumph and will never fail in her quest. No matter how bold or impossible it seems, let her inspire you. Believe. Whew. So go on. So I'm just going to leave this here. Okay, I'm not going to go further into what these cards are like telling me, because they're pretty straight to the point. And just don't give up. Just keep pursuing what your dreams are. Just have a little bit more direction and structure with what it is that you're wanting to do. There's a lot of beautiful positive shifts coming in for you guys, for all of us. And I hope this reading empowers you, brings you love, healing, and clarity. And feel free to give this a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button so you don't miss when I upload. It helps my page out, and I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm sending you guys lots of love. Please take care of yourself.